Call this regular council meeting Monday, October 27th, 2025, 6 P M. The city clerk, will you call the roll?
Councilwoman Brown. Present. Councilwoman Cordes.
Here.
Councilman Twitchell.
Here.
Councilman Sudar.
Here.
Councilwoman Renowski. Here. Councilman Phillips.
Present.
Councilman Gott.
Here.
Councilwoman Sherman. Coming.
All right, there being a quorum, I'll call this meeting to order.
Stay here. Here.
Everyone, please rise for our invitation. Heavenly Father, we come before you this evening with gratitude for the opportunity to serve our community. Grant this council wisdom in our discussions, fairness in our decisions, and unity in our purpose to do what is right for the citizens of Louisiana. May our words and actions reflect integrity, respect, and genuine desire to improve the lives of those we represent. Bless our city, our residents, and all who work to make this a better place to live. Amen.
Amen.
Councilman Phillips, lead us in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We'll open the floor for consideration of comments from the public regarding any items on the meeting agenda.
Again, I'm Sharita Morrison. And, me and, I'm sorry. But me and fellow,
Take a deep breath. It's okay.
we have come up with the Citizens Oversight Board. And, we have made a petition and we have gotten signatures on it, a lot of signatures. And I know that you said that it matters to have their, voters registration and all of that. I understand that, but the bigger picture is, it's not just Louisiana Police Department, it's not Bowling Green Police Department, it's not Bowling Green Sheriff's Department. What all three of those things have in common is that we're still Pike County, and there's trust that has been eroded, and I simply don't feel safe. And I just want to come together. I've already met with the county commissioners and they're willing to let this citizen oversight board, they've taken it into consideration. What the bigger picture looks like is that somebody from this council of Louisiana, somebody from the council from Bowling Green, and the county commissioners, we all come together as one unit, as one body. Because at the end of the day, we are Pike County. It's not just this part or this part or that part. We all make up Pike County. So I don't want you to look at this like as a bad thing, because this could be a very good thing that the community can see you step up, to maybe grant this oversight board, to work alongside of each other. And me personally, I don't want to be on any board or nothing like that. So like I said, we've been talking to the county commissioners, and maybe we'll bring alongside retired police officers or judges or somebody is knowledgeable of the law. And again, we can't look at this as a bad thing. Yes, bad things have happened, and we want to see the good in all the bad things, that we can restore the trust between the community and police officers, and just like you said, to build our community up and speak integrity and have transparency and honesty. We elect certain people in office to serve and protect us. And when those things are broken, it's hard to gain that trust back. So I just wanted to get up here. Thank you for listening to me through my nerves. And I just ask that you just please take this into consideration. As you've seen, we have a lot of signatures on this petition. And these aren't all the signatures. We also have an online petition that has over like 130 signatures on there too. So if I have to go back and get the voters registration and stuff like that, I'm sure that the community would pull together to do that. If that's what needs to be done. All right,
And so, speaking of this, so if the commissioners, if someone's got the ball on moving forward with it, I don't see where this council wouldn't have any objection for taking in any necessary steps. The only reason I brought up the addresses and stuff is if he was making it a referendum, so they can circumvent the commissioners, it can circumvent this council, and circumvent Bowling Green's count or alderman. So that's the only reason I brought that up.
Yes.
But if the commissioners are working and considering it, just keep us in the loop.
sure.
Sure.
And you also have my email and phone number, and I also put in that minimum package.
I got a question. Who are you bringing up to determine, put in this position? Who's qualified?
All right, that's when we come together as a collective, to you, or what I'm saying, to use what you may have, or you may have, because I'm still doing research, me myself, but I know that once I have gotten my foot in the door, that I can't let it close. So the commissioners right now, they are speaking with a lawyer to see what they can do legally to get this thing up and running.
Because what I'm curious about is if you spoke to them,
Oh, yes.
how come they haven't contacted any of us?
I'm sure they will. I'm sure, like I said, they were talking with
We're
the
trying to
lawyer.
make it legal, it's legal.
Right, exactly. And the one thing that I think that they were concerned about is maybe if the council would not be willing to participate in it, that could be a reason. I'm not really for sure. But that part of it was their idea, to bring in the council, a council from each part, and do it like that.
Well, like I said, you're asking for transparency, and they should be coming to us and saying, hey, we're.
Well, I'm bringing it to them,
Oh,
so,
okay.
so it's not them that brought it to me, I brought it to them.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Appreciate it.
All right, thank you.
Once again. He speaks at meetings. Louis Henderson wrote a letter to speak at the meeting. I read the letter. I don't see no reason why. Speak, she was not put on the agenda. Therefore, I'd like to give my time to Doris Henderson. Doris, you come up and speak.
This is open forum. Everyone's got 3 minutes. If it's about something on this agenda.
No. Why does it have to be on the agenda? Simple question. Citizens should have the right to get up here and speak about anything they want that concerns the city. But people get up here and try to say anything about the police department, they're shut down. The man told a news agency that I was a stalker and I snuck around people's houses and circled their houses all hours of the day and night. Now, before when Court called me an informant, we didn't have nothing for that. Now you got the police chief accusing me of sneaking around people's houses, circling their blocks all hours of the day and night with no proof.
He's been to court twice and could have proved it. He ain't got no proof. He's out lying. So how's it come he gets away with that? You got a policy for that? I will be filing a complaint. I will be bringing it in. But police chief can't be getting telling news agencies a citizen is stalking and all I do is take pictures of him parked on the sidewalk and leaving his trash on the sidewalk. And Anderson driving around for what, 10 months with an illegal car and parking in the front yard. That's not stalking. That's a concerned citizen worried about the people that's making the laws and enforcing the laws, breaking the laws and not following. Now, you want to hit your little gavel, go ahead. That's all we can do.
Alright,
Oh, and I'll be bringing the tape to him, accusing me of doing that tomorrow with my questions.
They already have a copy. Well, I was gonna start out by saying you have a copy of the information that I have from Louisiana Community Betterment. I'm the treasurer. It is regarding the city working with us and the Lions Club for the annual Christmas parade, which will be on November 29th, beginning at 5 o'clock, and it starts at Sunset Park and comes to Third Street. So there are several folks here that we need help from, including the police department, the fire department. And so as I go through, and I'm sorry you don't have a copy, because there's quite a bit of information. But hopefully your clerk will get you that. Santa will be at the Historical Museum, and that's right after the tree lighting. And then, Chairman has outlined all the steps that we need for the help getting ready for and then executing the actual parade itself. So the first part is all the lights for the tree, the snowflakes and the nativity are checked by the city workers. And that's before they're installed. We bought new bulbs last year and we've also bought new lighting. So if there's new parts needed for any one of those, we do have those. And that we're asking that those all be prepared before November 15th. Then to allow our committee to decorate for the pocket. The next paragraph, and again, I apologize, you don't have a copy, talks about the moment sketch.
Diane did send emails to people. I got my email and I'm reading along with you.
Okay, good,
So, just so you know.
thank you. So maybe other people have it too, so I'm glad that there is a lot of information.
Right, there is.
The Christmas tree that we purchased several years ago, the city workers have graciously placed it on the grounds at the pocket park. And I hate to say it, but it goes right where the Momo statue is. Where Momo is sitting now is where the tree always has sat. It was discussed at the tourism committee that Momo be, I'll say, moved back so that the tree could go there, and then we have other decorations besides just the tree. Several lighted things that go with the tree itself in the pocket park. And again, graciously, the city workers have put up the tree, and then our committee has decorated the rest of the items around the tree. The light snowflake light pole decorations, the city workers installed them. And we're asking that most of them be on Georgia Street. So that it's lighting Georgia Street, and then if we have extras, because I know there's only so many poles that will accommodate the snowflakes. But if we still have more than what we'll put on the poles that we have, then they can go on each side of Third and George, or 79, Highway 79, or 3rd Street. excuse me, starting at the bank and going north or south. Thanks. The police department, we need to ask their help for helping. We have this, and she has a copy here, a signage saying, please don't park during this area between this time and this time, like it was for Oktoberfest. But we need the police to help clear that area if people still choose to park there, because on North Fourth Street will be the food vendors. And on South Fourth Street will be the vendors that have goods to sell. Whether it's shirts, candles, whatever. So we're asking the fire department to help us with the barricades. They've done that before. Putting barricades at the different areas that's on our map. So North and South Fourth. And Fifth and all the way up to Third Street, but we have had people who drive around the barricade. So even though we tell them, they'll still drive right around the barricades, and we really want to encourage all the public safety at the parade. And the food vendors, and you know, we have lots of kids, and for a child to run out and be hit would be just. So if the fire department could help us with the barricades, getting those at the locations. And then someone to help us at those spots. Even though we have some men on the committee, we've had people still not listen to those people when they say, please don't go around the barricade. The next part is asking for, and Clinton's here, that we not have fire pits. I think it's 2 years ago, we had some folks who asked about fire pits. But the safety of those attending in the buildings downtown. To prevent a fire, either from a person or a person or. Then the electric boxes, and this, I think, is probably one of the city workers or maybe a city administrator. We need the electric boxes on both sides of Fourth Street for the vendors and the food trucks that we have already coming. I know 1 year I was involved in tracking down, and maybe even the mayor, to get somebody down there to turn the light tower on for us. So our goal in all of this is to try and keep everybody safe, but have a good parade, Christmas parade, and start off the Christmas season with all the fine decorations that we have. For a small town, we've got quite a few nice things. And then asking for our city's help, whether it's employees or you folks, to help us execute this event. So, question. I know you don't have a copy, but some of you have read it.
It sounds like you got a well detailed list there. Has an application been submitted to the chief? So he has all of this?
I think so.
I have not received a copy of it.
Okay, application to you.
Yes.
Okay.
And I can email you a copy of the.
Oh. And the police always lead the parade for it, and then we have the fire trucks too. A whole chapter, Clinton. So fire trucks, police, I mean, they always start off the parade for us, and then. The police also are out at the beginning of the parade so that. They have to reroute people away from Sunset Park because of the lineup for the parade. So it's kind of like other parades,
Right.
that we have, so. Questions other than the application, and I've got that on here.
I forget. Seems pretty much the.
It is, just, it is out, so we aren't saying at the last minute, help.
As long as, as long as we got the application and everything, and
Okay,
I'll see why not.
all right, thank you.
I mean, anyone else from the public who wish to address the council? Hearing none, the agenda will stand as is unless there's anyone on the council.
Yeah, I'd like to add to the agenda or allow, Doris Henderson to speak at the last set of comments. I think her comments pertaining to the, comprehensive plan could apply to the issues on infrastructure and grounds and even the TNR debate. So just supported her 3 minutes to be able to speak.
I second that.
Okay, we got a motion and a second. Any discussion? So the reason being is, why I didn't allocate more time, because I figured it's gonna take more than 3 minutes. And there is a planning and zoning commission that she's a member of, that this should really flow through, is why I addressed it the way it has. But without any other discussion, is there any more discussion? All in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
Opposed? And take the roll call, please.
Councilwoman Brown,
Yes.
Councilwoman Cordes,
Yes.
Councilman Twitchell,
Yes.
Councilman Sudar,
Yes.
Councilwoman Marinowski. Yes. Councilman Phillips,
Yes.
Councilman Goff,
Yes.
Councilwoman Sherman.
Singerson, you have 3 minutes.
On page 33 of the comprehensive plan that was adopted in 2024. It says, how will you monitor progress? For a plan to have any value, it needs to be implemented. Implementation will always fall short if there's not systematic monitoring of progress. We need to, everyone needs to actually take a look at the comprehensive plan, see what the goals, the strategies to achieve the goals are, and keep in mind that we have those for a reason. We didn't just adopt this to throw it in a drawer somewhere and say, oh, well, we've got one. We don't need to look at everything. Okay, the implementation of the strategies has not been being done. One of the strategies was to have each of the committees come back to the council on a monthly or quarterly basis with things that need to be done. We haven't done any of that. So my suggestion is that we look at it and we take into consideration the things that we said we wanted to do that we haven't even looked at doing or setting up a way to get to those things. I think we're kind of shiny and our attention goes elsewhere. And so I really look at the comprehensive plan. And then everything that you've done outside that comprehensive plan, keep that information together with the current comprehensive plan. So that the next time that you rewrite the comprehensive plan, everything you've done is right there. So it's easy, accessible. You know what's been done, you know when it's been done, how it's been done, and that it was done correctly. We also need to address the fact that 20-year water system plan should have been added as an entire section to the comprehensive plan. Anything that is that lengthy of an idea or goal should be in your comprehensive plan. And lastly, I believe the comprehensive plan should have been put in the clerk's office at county, and I don't think that it has. When I checked last week, they did not have. Thank you.
Anyone else from the public? All right, so the agenda will stand unless there's other items that someone wants to see changed. Approval of the minutes, September 22nd, 2025.
So moved.
Did I hear a second? Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Yes.
I was not present. You got me present and absent.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll fix that.
I just noticed it. Sorry.
We'll stretch that. You had a green child, sure. All right, so all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Motion carries with the correction. All right, treasurer's report. Everyone should have gotten a copy of the treasurer's report. So for September, city Revenue is $167,926.78 with $141,089.86 with a surplus for the month of $26,836.92. Bringing that total year to date surplus of $58,561.53. So enterprise for September. Total revenues collected $414,860.77. Total expenses for the month of $347,473.13. With a surplus of $67,387.64. And year to date surplus of $180,722.32. In total account balances between non-restricted and restricted funds for the city is $1,490,957.56. And for the enterprise, totaling non-restricted and restricted funds, $1,941,348.12.
Make a motion, we approve the treasurer's report.
There is a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor of approving the treasurer's report, say aye.
Yeah.
Opposed, like sign. Motion carries. To go along with the treasurer's report, the enterprise director, myself, and then new city administrator will be kicking off. In fact, the enterprise director's kind of got a head start on this, but we're kicking off our mid-year budget review. So between now and our meeting, our regular council meeting in November, we will set up time, work studies to allow for review of the mid-year budget review. Keep that in mind, more to come. Next item on the agenda is citizens recognition. The council will do me the pleasure, I'll give a proclamation of recognition for honoring John Sutton for his lifelong commitment and contributions to the citizens and community of Louisiana, Missouri. Entertain a motion to read the proclamation.
Second.
Second, any discussion? All in favor, say yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Whereas John and Sue Sutton began their business in the city of Louisiana, Missouri in 1962, embracing the opportunities of hard work, dedication, and community partnership that have benefited not only their family, but countless residents of our city. And whereas throughout the decades, John has quietly and consistently given back to his community, donating to and supporting numerous projects that have enriched the quality of life in Louisiana. And whereas Mr. Sutton's generosity is characterized by humility, he has never sought public recognition or reward, but has taken satisfaction in watching the results of his kindness grow and flourish within the community he loves. And whereas this same spirit of giving has been passed down to his family, who continue to follow in his and Sue's footsteps by investing their time, talent, and resources for the betterment of Louisiana. And whereas, among the many examples of his ongoing generosity, Mr. Sutton's most recent contribution includes the purchase of picnic tables for Riverview and Henderson Parks, enhancing the beauty and usability of these public spaces for the enjoyment of residents and visitors alike. And whereas John Sutton's leadership, compassion, and lifelong commitment to community serve as an enduring example of civic pride and selfless service to others. Now, therefore, I, Tim Carter, Mayor of the City of Louisiana, Missouri, on behalf of the City Council and the citizens of Louisiana, do hereby extend this official proclamation and heartfelt recognition to Mr. John Sutton in sincere appreciation for his extraordinary generosity, integrity, and many contributions to our city and its people. John couldn't make it tonight. I did an invite and he responded in like kind with a letter regarding his sadness for not being able to attend this evening. So, pass that around.
Will we get an official letter with seal on it?
It'll be framed. It'll be framed and stuff on that. He might be watching. Thank you, John. Okay, the next item is recognition for the Chamber of Commerce. City of Louisiana, Missouri proclamation of recognition honoring the Louisiana Chamber of Commerce for outstanding service and leadership in hosting the 41st annual Louisiana, Missouri Country Color Fest. Entertain a motion to read the proclamation.
So moved.
Second, and any discussion? All in favor, say yes.
Yes.
Pose like sign. Okay. Whereas the city of Louisiana is proud to shine as the home of the 41st annual Louisiana, Missouri Country Color Fest, hosted October 18th and 19th, 2025, in the heart of our historic downtown, bringing together families, visitors, local businesses, craftsmen, and artists for live music, food, fun, and community spirit. Whereas the Louisiana Chamber of Commerce has demonstrated exceptional leadership, organization, and dedication in coordinating this landmark event, which has elevated our city's profile, supported our downtown merchants, and enriched our local economy and civic life. Whereas through the Country Color Fest, the Chamber has fostered community pride, promoted tourism, and provided a festive platform for all generations to gather and celebrate the unique character of Louisiana, Missouri. Whereas the 41st annual milestone of the event reflects decades of commitment by the Chamber, the business community, and countless volunteers who together see the vitality of our city for today and tomorrow. Now, therefore, I, Tim Carter, Mayor of the City of Louisiana, Missouri, on behalf of the City Council and the citizens of Louisiana, do hereby extend this formal recognition and heartfelt appreciation to the Louisiana Chamber of Commerce for its many years of service and for the outstanding success of the 41st annual Louisiana, Missouri Country Color Fest. All right. City Administrators report. Our new city administrators possibly online watching this evening. He doesn't officially take office till next week. So I'll forego putting in any reports on his behalf or what's going on. I'll let the committee reports speak for themselves. Enterprise Director report.
Good evening, council. I'm gonna give a little update of what's been going on within Enterprise. So the water treatment plant, we had to order some parts for our leaking valves. They're supposed to be in next week. Once they get in, we'll get that job completed. MECO, or correction, Martin Construction, they were actually wanting to start on the 20th with the delay of getting the leaking valves replaced before they can sandblast. They were hoping to be in as soon as we get that done. Those parts coming in next week, I'm hoping they'll be in next week or the following week after. The raw water check valve that we had ordered is installed and is in normal operation now. The intake house, we're scheduled to get it cleaned Wednesday. We're hoping for tomorrow, but the pump was supposed to come in today, comes in tomorrow, we'll get it installed, and first thing Wednesday morning, we'll drain the intake house and get it cleaned out and have that done. I did have on here that our THMs were taken and sent in. I hadn't heard anything, but I'm gonna read a text message from Robert. I did go look and I'm really excited about this. So the message I received at 4:04 from Robert was THM and HA5 results are back. Our E Street HA5 was 53.5 and our THMs were 27. Our Joe's Jug HA5 is 54.1 and our THMs were 28.3. He says this puts our running average at 66 for E Street and 69 for Joe's Jug, which is well below the 80 limit. If the next test is similarity, the average will drop a lot as drop those highs from the year because of the running average. And once those fall off, it will take our average way down. And he concluded that with, we did it. I'm actually very happy. It's a battle that we've been going on for a lot of years. And Robert has spent a lot of time down there with chemists, talking with chemists that deal with this stuff. He's also dealt with DNR, talking about how we can change processes, do things to hopefully correct the issue internally. And I will say, out of the last 6 months, I've done every three. Within the last 6 months, we have dropped that number tremendously. So Robert has done a really good job. Everybody at the water plant's done a really good job at tackling this, and I'm super pleased with their work and what they've done at the water plant.
If I may. Not to take away anything from the efforts, but I also want to recognize this council and the citizens and yourself for providing the tools and resources and means to make our drinking water significantly safer and better for our community. So everyone, it's a team effort. Everyone played a part, and I know I appreciate having clean water. So.
At our wastewater plant, our basins are planned to be cleaned next week. Richie and Richie's been going through schematics and valve layouts and the whole process of how we're going to tackle this. Getting a dumpster order to get the solid waste out of the sludge out of the basins and get it properly disposed of. He's been working extremely hard on that. With that being said, I do have another thing that I'm extremely happy about. So the auger system with Huber, we got that done, installed everything. It was working, but it wasn't discharging anything. Richie had been going back and forth with Huber a little bit too, trying to figure out what was going on. And Huber said that it could take potentially up to 2 weeks before we saw a discharge. Just every time that auger turns on, it's, I don't know, a 30-second, it turns on for about 30 seconds. And it picks the solid waste up out of that basin and then compresses it on that auger system. So we waited roughly 2 weeks. We never got anything, and Richie got in this morning and called and said that it had completely, it's working completely normal. It's filled the dumpster up and discharging like it's supposed to. So I would say I'm pretty pleased with that. As that's been going on for 1.5 to 2 years of battling back and forth. We bought a complete new system. The gearbox sheared, and so we ended up having to get another gearbox and motor. And it's just been a process, but it is, as of right now, is in normal operation, working exactly how it's designed.
So this has been a process that you and the city has taken for 2 years to work on this, but it was down 2 years prior to us working on it. So this has been going on 3.5 to 4 years.
And I also want to emphasize too a little bit, when you say 2 years, we kind of think that if the council understands and they know, but for anybody that's not aware, they think, well, it's a long process to work on something, but after we did the initial purchase, there was roughly a year's time of just warranty claims, battling back and forth, trying to get it resolved without the city having to spend any more money. So that was the delay, the biggest process.
And I assume Hoover has covered the expense of fixing it.
Everything, yes. They came down, they got in there, they installed it. He actually, while he was in the pit, he had noticed some things that may not have been installed right when they were here last time. That could have attributed to that key shearing on that gearbox, things like that. So, yeah, so they 100% did exactly as said and made it right.
Good.
Distribution, Schulte's is still moving along. We meet them every morning, 3 three back trailers are going out and they're working quickly to get this process done. They're trying to get everything done before we get get a first hard freeze because they don't want to open the meter fits while they're doing that. The ground storage tank up on Murray, Star Hill. I actually went up, I cleared all the wood line to allow for us to get the electric from our electric box down to where we're gonna be installing this mixer. And so we've got that all on order, and once that comes in, then we'll start laying the conduit. We reached out with USG Water and they have all the stuff for the mixer on order, so right now we're working just side by side. Hopefully once we have the electric installed, then the mixer will be ready to be installed. And I would like to think that we can hopefully have it all completed by the end of November, as long as no hiccups on it.
Again, I'm assuming that something needs to be done before it's really cold.
It does, just because of the simple fact that we're gonna have to drain that tank, and that's 1.5 million gallons of water. And if anybody knows, in winter time, the winter is hard on water mains, and we don't wanna have that tank offline. We wanna try to get this done and taken care of. And there's even a chance that if they say it's gonna be mid-November before we can start, we may just prolong it and push it off till after winter, because I don't wanna have our biggest water supply offline while we're going into winter months and freezing. And it's only gonna be a temporary process of being offline, but they're just better not disturb it until you're ready to get the job started. Visu Sewer, so I've been in contact with them. The city, several years ago, 2018 to 2020 roughly, we spent a large amount of money on an I&I study for the city. And so I got all of that data back from Mark Ross, and I turned that over to Visu, a copy of the jump drive over to Visu Sewer, and they're putting together a repair plan. Just as if there was no cost to do any of this, it's just simply so they can tell us where we need to start. And then once we have this plan together, I'll present it to the council and we'll kind of understand a little bit better. The I&I is a big deal for us. Every time it rains, we take on a lot of rainwater and such at our wastewater plant. Richie constantly has to fight that. So this whole process will hopefully resolve that. It's going to be a process over so many years, but they're going to categorize it from the worst, need to immediately start to the less trouble issues. And then truck 24 is still expected to be completed by mid-November. That's what we approved for the hydraulic system for snow plows, the dump bed, and all of that stuff. So the parts are on order, and as soon as that gets in, they're saying they can have it done by mid-November, just in time for hopefully for snow season. And then just upcoming for the council, I know the mayor brought it up earlier. I started last week on the mid-year budget. I've got a pretty good plan with it. I'm waiting for some responses on some things back to kind of add to it or not add to it. And once I get those, then the mayor and I will sit and we'll go through that, and then hopefully we can get it to the council before the work study so that you can at least have some eyes on it, and then we'll get the process going, and hopefully it'll be ready to go for November's regular council meeting. That's all I have.
All right. Fire chief's report.
So the meeting and training room on the back, I know we've been busy. There's a lot of stuff that's been going on with it, but overall drywall work's pretty well done. There's some sanding left to do. Once we get that done, payment, floor, and then just top outlets and things like that. But other than that, it's heated and cooled now, and we're able to work in there comfortably and get things done. So the process of that's been really, I'm really pleased with the process of that. Fire Prevention Week was a success. So I tried something new. We took pictures of all the members, and we put together their years of service and why they joined the fire department, things within the community, like why they like to do that. I shared all that on social media, and each time I shared that, I also included fire prevention tips for the citizens to see. The fire department also did the local schools. We went out to the schools. We showed them the trucks. We kind of showed them fire safety tips. We got into our gear to kind of let the kids know when they see us, not to be afraid. It could be very alarming if you're not used to that. So we try to be in gear and let them see kind of what we are, what we look like, things like that. And that's just all part of teaching the kids fire safety. Halloween coming up on Friday. We encourage anyone and everyone to come by. We're gonna be doing handing out candy at the firehouse. So it'll be opened up to the public and come by and get some candy. And then we really only have one more meeting, so I'm gonna jump the gun a little bit. The fire department will be hosting their third annual Cookies with Santa on December 6th, and it will start at 6 p.m. So time's going by fast, so I just wanna let everybody know about that. Incident response data, so we had 19 medical calls, we had 12 fire related calls and 7 special events, which were going to the school for football games, parades, the school for fire stuff prevention week and things like that, so we've been out and about.
Any questions for the chief? Thank you much. Police chief.
Council. Just to update you guys on things we've had over the course of last month. We just had 3 officers that attended and graduated crisis intervention team training. It's training put on by East Central Missouri CIP Council. It was a free of charge training for the city. CIP's nationally recognized program designed to help officers safely and effectively respond to individuals experiencing mental health crises. And training focuses on de-escalation and communication techniques, recognizing mental illness and substance use symptoms, and legal considerations, as well as community resource coordination. We attended several events here locally. Of course, we patrolled Color Fest. I'm glad to see that it went off without a hitch, and we didn't have any major incidents there. Officers have been going to preschool and interacting with the students there, either reading them books, things like this, engaging in with our youth at a young age. Also, officers have attended every home sporting event school has had, interacting with the public. An update on the Blue Shield grant funding. I believe a couple months ago, I reported to you that we received $50,000 off that grant. The funds are just now being released for us to use to purchase the new body cameras as well as the license plate readers. I've included in your packets. We had to, of course, we don't have any license plate readers currently, so we had to develop a policy for, to deal with those, as well as we updated the body worn camera policy to reflect the new body cameras that we're getting. As soon as I receive the contracts for those, I'll forward those on to you all for review. And going over some stats from the month of September, that had 213 calls of service and 74 traffic stops conducted with 48 citations issued. But then I do also have, forgive me, I have time making copies. I have an event application for the car show this next weekend. Everything looks to be in order with it. The only thing that they're requesting from the city is barricading off the riverfront area for the car show.
All right.
And they want me to please have that.
Yes.
All right. Thank you. Any questions for the chief? Hearing none, thank you. Committee reports, animal control.
Had a animal control meeting last Tuesday. Probably 20-25 people attended. We just discussed the fact that trying to help citizens understand that a TNR program is not a way to is not detrimental, that we're not trying to kill cats, that we're trying to help cats, trying to make them understand actually what TNR program does. We talked to them about needing volunteers to help in many facets because it's got so many different prongs to it to make it work correctly. And it was just mainly just trying to get people to understand what the TNR program does and to get some volunteers in it. About it. It was a good meeting.
Yeah.
Felt like we had a lot of positive feedback.
Any questions on the report? All right. Public safety, Councilman Sark.
Right now, Chief Baker currently pursuing his bachelor's degree in justice. And after grants and all that, got a pocket $1,650. And he's requesting that we do a tuition reimbursement. I would make a motion that we do reimbursement for Chief Baker for $1,650.
A second. Now, first and second, any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say yes.
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 Opposed, like sign. Motion carries.
Ralph, when you're expected to, when you're gonna actually be done?
So I still have quite a bit to go, but it's the way it works is it's kind of modular based. So if you're confident in an area, then you can proceed to the next area relatively quickly. So hopefully here in about 6 months. So
Nice.
Okay,
if I knock it out with
infrastructure, grounds and streets, Councilman Scott.
Well, most of it's been, I still haven't got update on the backhoe.
Yeah, the last I heard, speaking with Clinton and Clayton, the backhoes have to be taken to Martin to be repaired while in operation going down Georgia Street. I believe is same day as Color Fest, I believe. Someone dumped a whole bunch of dirt down Georgia Street. They took the backhoe to scoop it up and going back to the shop just before 30th Street, the parking brakes locked up on it, just locked up everything. It caused it to overheat and it caused a seal to give way. So in order to do that, they're going to take it up to Martin's to repair.
They also, you gotta give them a little credit here. They've been doing some shoulder work, maintenance repair on, there's especially down here on South Carolina and a few of the other streets. So it's a little time consuming, but what they've been doing has actually improved everything. I mean, walk wise, parking wise.
We've received a lot of, oh, I shouldn't say a lot, but we've received some calls at City Hall, thanking citizens, thanking, because some of those areas, especially in South Carolina, are handicapped parking areas and just walked out shoulder work. So they leveled it up with gravel and stuff, so. The expanding street repavement project, so I mentioned this to Councilman Gott. We had a paving project that's going to kick off this spring. And the recommendation from the paving company at that time was, it's if you're really wanting something done in the spring, to kind of have it ready for them in the fall. So I would like this council to really review and look into expanding our street repavement project, because when we adopted that and approved it, we felt that this was going to get done this spring and this summer. Well, it didn't. It's going to be in the springtime. Well, come June, we're going to have a new budget, right? So I would recommend that the council really explore looking at extending this paving project to include other items, whether it's shoulder work. We can identify needs easy. I don't have to give examples, but I would like during our next work study session to identify the possibility of adding to this pavement project, and with the thought of that actually being taken care of out in next year's budget. So something for us to bring up at our work study.
Well, the main thing is, once that pavement's here, they're gonna charge us. We get what we need to get done at that time with the extra. It's just, they're gonna get recharged when they have to bring it back in.
mobilization fees.
Yeah, I just want to make sure we do this in a budgetarily efficient way,
Exactly.
get the most bang for our buck.
So we still have all of the funds that were allotted for this year, and then we're gonna have, approximately how much.
So we
think
would
for
have to,
next year.
we'd have to really look into that and project. Right now, when we go through our mid-year budget, we would have a pretty good idea as far as what kind of carryovers that we will potentially have. What we're projecting. And if we do this and then we extend this, and we'll get pricing for it, it might be, we can save ourselves with a backdoor option of if we had the funds and we do have carryover, we can commit to it, but up until the time they mobilize, we can back out of it. We'd have to look at, see what we can do to make it logical and efficient and budgetary.
Since we didn't get it scheduled early enough this year, we should have lots of funds that we can put on it next year as well as next year's funds.
We'll have to go through the mid-year budget and look at it. I'm estimating, if guesstimating, $130,000-$150,000, but we'll have to go through that budget and look at it. Because what we are projecting is what we're gonna start off with in June. That's the numbers that we have to, because that's when we're gonna have to pay the bills. So, we have to make sure that we're good for it. But, so now's the time to start thinking about how we want to expand it, if we do. And then the last item, riverfront paver project, so, contractor's been notified, that it's going to go back out for bids, so. We're looking to get that back out in the paper, this Friday. And also two things, I was speaking with Mary about this, two things that we need on all of our procurement and bidding processes. We had a mix up where there's two different bid specs that went out and there's only one bid spec. It's what's advertised in the paper or what's given by the city clerk, and no bid specs that was posted online ever went out to a contractor. So we need to assure that whenever someone picks up a bid spec, this is a recommendation from Mary, that they sign for the bid specs, that they received it, what date they receive it. And then whenever the bids come in, they should be dated and sealed and taken by the city clerk to just ensure that our process is followed on that. But council should see that coming out in Friday's paper.
I have two things on that. One being, can the bids actually be opened in a closed session in front of everyone? Or can the proper procedure be followed where a bid spec sheet is given to the council where we see all the bids instead of just getting things that night? Because before, I know bids used to be opened as a group in front of everyone. Sealed bids opened as a group in front of everyone.
So the sealed bids typically opened by the city clerk. And if anyone, it's open to the public, anyone can look at it when the bids are open.
Given emails, we're not given anything other than an email that says this. We're not given a bid spec sheet showing who all put bids in or anything. So our own policy is not being followed on that.
So that'd be something to look at.
Okay,
But with that being said, typically the contractors and the vendors want to be present when those bids are open. That's typically,
to open those bids with them.
and that's usually with the city clerk, and we should be posting that.
But we should also get a bid spec sheet, which we've never got. Since I've been on council, I've never been given a bid spec sheet showing what the bids were and the. And my second thing is, I would like to make a motion to table this project until next budget year, because I think there's outstanding bills and things that need to be looked into, and I don't think this is a project we should be doing this year.
You heard a motion, is there a second?
Okay.
There's a first and a second, any discussion? More than likely, this project won't pick up for next year anyway, council.
I guess my only thing is, I just want to make sure we're being prudent with this, with dotting all the i's, crossing all the t's. This is a big chunk of money. And I I guess I share my frustrations a little bit with some of this in terms of, you know, when we get the numbers and that kind of, I just want to make sure we're doing what we need to do and we're doing it the right way. That's all. So that's all.
And I don't necessarily disagree with you. That's, but I'll remind council that this is something that was worked through the budget process and put in the budget. to do.
That was also with the thought of we were getting the TAP grant. I just think this paver project money can be used on other things the city could benefit from instead of doing a paver project right now.
So I disagree with you on that. It wasn't ever associated with the TAP grant. Only the
I'm
ADA,
skipping.
only the ADA,
Then
walking
let's do
grant.
the ADA and not a paver project. Paver project, I think is absurd to spend that amount of money on right now.
How much money are you talking about that we're spending?
Well, I would have to look back through all the papers that we've
What
done.
would you guess it'd be?
Well, I don't know, because we got 2 different bids on it, 3 different bids on it.
Hmm.
2 I know for sure, and one of them wasn't correct, so I mean, I don't know, 100,000 that could go for an ADA ramp.
Yeah, so you're looking at a project that's been budgeted for about $65,000, Councilwoman. So, and the bid that
Assuming-
came in-
The bid, there, I'm not, it's them, but
I'll
okay,
call the
maybe,
question then, we'll open the floor for anyone else on the council.
Just the fact that it's going back out for bid kind of tables it. Anyway,
It hasn't been approved, I mean, it's gonna come back.
in my opinion, doesn't it? No,
no, because it's one.
I'd say we wait, get the new bids back, see what they say, and then we decide whether we move ahead or not.
Because this council has always had the right to accept or refuse any and all bids. Always has that right.
Can I ask a technical question here? Because it seems to me that I'm kind of misunderstanding what we're doing here. We're putting this new out, this project out for new bids, correct? Okay. Did we ever rescind the old, I mean, we kind of approved it, if I remember correctly. Now we're pulling the bid back, which I'm fine with. But did we ever take action as a council
We
to
can,
legally
to be,
pull that? And I would like to make an additional or a motion to rescind that bid. Before we're gonna submit the new specs on Friday, right? Let's rescind I wanna make a motion to rescind the old bid in lieu of. Until we put out the new stuff, I guess is what I'm asking. So that we're on record of having rescinded that, and then they can't come back and say, well, you know, you've already awarded it. I'm just trying to protect us.
okay, second that, that's all it is.
well, in this case, then I would ask that Councilwoman Sherman rescind her second and Councilwoman Warnowski rescind her motion. And so we can do it in proper order and rescind the original bid specs. And then we'll move forward on the other.
Well, getting new bids really doesn't change the fact what Heather says. That since we did not get the TAMP grant, whether it was for this particular project or not, we still did not get it. And I think instead of beautifying down there, which our riverfront looks decent anyway, and with the pavers that we have that are nicely spaced out and everything, I don't think that new bids is gonna change the problem that I have too, is not spend that money on something like that this budget year, if we find out what's going to happen.
Tim, can I respond to that? I got a thought.
Yeah.
Okay, if we
We have to do what you said.
yeah, let's rescind it. And we always have an option as a council not to accept any bid. We say, nah, we're not doing that. But even after the bids are submitted, we can say, oh, fiscally, we just, you know, we can't do it, or, you know, shot while trying to escape, if you wanna call it, be that weird about it. But the point is, we need to rescind the old bid before we can even put out, I would think, before we can even put out.
And we can do that right now. Can we split that up?
Let's rescind first.
Still,
Okay.
and still go with her motion to wait. Because it's still $65,000, that's what Tim said, that's $65,000. We can put in cracks that need to be repaired and maybe out here beside the city where the side of the road is so bad. I mean, I just don't see pavers just being that.
Councilwoman Sherman, are you rescinding your second?
No,
You're not going to rescind?
I don't think so.
I
No.
don't think so.
Rescind it just for we can vote for the.
Yeah.
Okay, then will we make the motion? That's fine, I rescind it.
No, so they rescind. So Councilman Phillips.
I'm making a motion that we rescind the bid that we initially approved and open the process to new bids.
And I'm second.
If there's first and second, any discussion?
I just don't see why you wanna put people through putting the bid in if we were wanting to probably not.
We're
do
trying
it.
to stop it from happening and that there's no legal.
I understand, but it is because I'm the one, I read all of that about rescinding the vote a long time ago. I'm saying is, we rescind it and I'm good with that. I don't see sending it back out for votes if we want to put it off for another 6 months.
That's another separate.
Yeah, it's another separate question.
Right,
So,
So we need to get this one done and then move on.
right.
Any other discussion? All in favor of rescinding the bids and going out for bid pay again? Say yes,
Yes.
opposed, like sign. All right, motion carries.
Now, I would like to put a motion back in to table this until the next budget year.
And I'd say, can
Any discussion? This is kind of out of order because we just voted to rescind and go back out for bids, so. This is it's a contradiction, but it's on the floor. There's first and a second. Any discussion?
I wish there was some way that we could get bids for not only the paver project, but also for the handicap ramp. So that we can compare what the prices are, and what we're really looking at it cost. And then make a decision on what we think is the most important.
Not what's going on. It's just a bid for a paper
That's what I'm
project.
asking.
So we don't have to read the whole, not send it to paper project
Right, so we don't send it out in the paper on Friday.
and
And that
relook at all of it. I'm fine with
And
that.
then we look at two different sets of bids, one for paper, one for handicap access. And then I think the third possibility really is if we take all that money and put it on street repair.
Councilman, there's a question on the floor, and there's a motion and a second specifically to rescind the bid and to go out for bids again. That's the only question on the floor. If there's anything you want to change to that, I mean, it can be an informative motion after this question's been asked and answered.
I thought we just rescinded the bid.
Yeah, we just did that.
We just rescinded.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm sorry.
Previous.
I'm sorry, I'm sorry.
Been a long day.
The question is to table this, I'm sorry, to table this project until next year.
I would like to revise my motion to table this project and look at going out for a bid including the ADA ramp in the project.
Okay,
I would
this,
that.
that is, okay. First of all, the second's got to rescind, and then you got to rescind.
Rescind the old one
I rescind the old one with an amendment.
and then.
Make a new motion to go out for ADA. Go
I'm
make a
gonna
new.
make a motion to go out for a new bid, including the pavers and including the ADA ramp in the project.
I
So
second that.
we already got it for the papers, so it's just the ADA project.
No, it's one bid, go out for the whole thing,
Well, or
or they can split it.
they can split it, but we can compare apples.
We've already got authorization to go out for paper bid.
Then go out for the ADA
Okay,
and.
that's the motion, right?
Yeah.
Okay. There's a motion.
Isn't the ADA ramp under construction at this point?
There's a motion on the floor, Councilwoman Renowski, go out for bids for the ADA pedestrian ramp.
So
There's a second, any discussion?
I just want to clarify in my mind what we're voting on here. We've already approved the fact that we're going to go out for the paper bids.
Yeah.
And this is just an additional bid for the ADA.
Yep.
Separate. Oh, they're separate.
City clerk, you understand?
Sure.
Wrong,
All right. All in favor, say yes.
Yes.
Yes. Opposed, like sign?
Enough.
Any other committee reports?
Yes. The tree up on Highview and East Street. I've reviewed minutes and stuff prior to meeting on the council. I've not found anything where the council made any decisions to cut that tree down.
The decision to make it declared a dangerous tree.
So any tree in the city can be cut down by the city.
It's just like any dangerous building can be torn down by the city. It's the
So we're gonna
same,
put a lien on this person's property when we cut their tree down.
if that's the case, yes, if we end up doing it, yes. But right now, costs are too high. For us to even swing it.
I thought you had a bid or a quote for 3,500. So.
You are right.
So if we're going to, I mean, I just need to understand this because I've already had people ask me, well, I have a tree in my yard that's dangerous to my home. So are you guys gonna cut it down? I'm like, I don't know. I have to get clarification on that.
So, I'll provide you a copy of those minutes.
I mean, I've looked
I'll
online
provide,
for all the minutes.
I'll
Are they
provide you a
not?
copy, I'll provide you a copy of those.
Are all the minutes not online then? Is that what you're
You have
saying?
to ask the city clerk. If you're having difficulty finding it, I'll assist you in that matter.
I don't need assistance. I just need a clarification so I can tell the.
So the
people that are asking.
clarification, if a tree is declared a
Has it-
dangerous tree,
So if
which
it's
is a public
dangerous,
nuisance,
I'm talking. If it's dangerous, then why haven't we already made the move like we do on people's homes to tear it down?
ready, now let me see. So now we have costs. It's just like, why haven't we torn down the blood factory? Can you answer that question? Why haven't we torn down the blood factory?
Then you've gone.
I'm talking right now.
Okay, then I will speak.
So, the thing is, it's about cost and funding, right there. And the reason it's a dangerous tree is not because the owner has asked or requested it. It's the neighbors that asked and requested it and brought it before this council. So that is the reason.
But if a house is deemed dangerous, the city has the means to go tear that house down, but we don't have the money to tear down a dangerous tree. That's what you're
Councilwoman,
telling me.
Councilwoman, this is a work study because there's no question that you're asking. What's the question you want to ask? That is council will be.
So
So
I can tell.
what do you ask?
The truth. If the city has the means to tear down a dangerous house, how do we not have the means to cut down a dangerous tree? And put a lien on the property?
We have that. But
Then
not
why haven't, if it's so dangerous, why haven't we already cut the tree down?
Okay.
Because you rushed to cut down,
Is that
tear
in
down.
form of a motion?
You rushed
Is
to
that
tear
in
down.
form of a
I'm asking
motion?
a question at the moment. Rush to tear down someone's home after it's deemed dangerous. So if this tree is so dangerous, then yes, we need to move right now. I make a motion to cut the tree down. Go out for bids to cut the tree down and put a lien on the person's property.
Are you willing to go on the,
Depends on what the bids are.
you heard the motion. Is there a second? You second?
I'll second it because I don't think we should be, I don't think we should be paying to cut the tree down is that's the only problem I have. I don't think the city should pay to tear the tree down.
I think this is a show
So
on purpose and I'll take it as that, not you personally or the.
I take offense to that. You as my
You
mayor
should.
have no reason to state that. I'm stating it because I have been asked by people in the public, well, are you gonna cut my tree down because it's dangerous? You have no answer to that, Tim.
I did.
So if you can tear down a dangerous house, you should be able to cut down a dangerous tree. It shouldn't matter the cost.
Absolutely right.
And the lane should go on the property like it does for anyone else.
Absolutely right.
There's your show.
And that was my answer to you.
I made a motion to have the tree removed because it's been deemed dangerous and put a lien on the property. That is my motion.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say yes.
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 Make a roll call, please.
Councilwoman Brown?
No.
Councilwoman Cordick?
No.
Councilman Twitchell?
Yes.
Councilman Sudar?
No.
Councilwoman Renowski? Yes. Councilman Phillips?
Abstain.
Councilman Gott?
No.
Councilwoman Sherman?
Yes.
All right, motion fails. Any other committee report? Or are you done this for now, please?
Stein? What's the vote?
Motion failed.
Four, yes, 3 yes, 1 abstain.
So you got anything else, Councilwoman
Nope.
Brown? Any other committee reports?
I did, but I done forgot. I just wanted to further what you said about the Chamber of Commerce. And I want to personally thank Brooke Patterson, who is the director of the chamber, which is who runs the 5 of us that are in there, myself, my husband, Penny Lentis, Jerry Smith, Amy Capstick, and who am I missing here, guys, Mike? Janet, the biggest one of all, Janet. We're probably gonna lose Janet next year, and she has been a godsend for the Fellow Fest way before I was even involved in it, and I think that we should be giving her something. Because if it wasn't for her, our streets wouldn't be mapped out like they are. And she deserves a pat on the back for all the hard work that she has put into our Fellow Fest for so many years.
Any other committee reports? Hearing none, old business?
I would like to add Wiley Harrison to old business to be able to speak on this. I would make a motion to add Wiley Harrison to old business to speak about this.
Heard a motion?
I'll second that.
There's a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say yes.
Yes, yes.
Opposed, like sign. Wiley, you have the floor.
Why? I'm here to ask the council to reconsider the lease at 7th and Kentucky Street. I've been there for going on 16 years. No problems. And I got a lot of marriage, so my lease was null and void. Had to be off of it by the 26th of this month, which I come to the committee meeting and y'all granted the stop on that letter. Well, I'm asking if you all would please reinstate the lease at 7 Weekend Trust people.
Wiley, do you have your liability insurance?
No,
Can you get this?
I can get it, but I was never told to get insurance.
You got a copy of the lease?
They all got the copy.
No, do you have a copy of it?
Not with me.
Because it states in there that you're supposed to have insurance on that property. $50,000 worth of insurance.
I can get the insurance.
So you never had insurance on it?
No, I was never told. But I will get insurance on it if that's.
Does the fire department have any use for the property?
We only have use for it if our grants and stuff come through, because we're wanting to build a new station, so at some point we would like to utilize it, but as of right now, ultimately, I guess if the council votes to continue or renew or however, I would ask for the fire department's sake that we just do it monthly, a month-to-month basis on it. With some kind of terms that we just don't lock ourselves, because we actually have paperwork in for grants, and if it comes through and they're like, yeah, well, we'll do it, then we would want to utilize it for that, but.
And I have no problem with that.
Can we do a 6-month lease?
All right, council, I mean, we're listening to Mr. Harrison, but this is a closed session item.
Yeah. I'm just asking to take into consideration. If I get insurance, I will prove that I'll get insurance.
Yeah, that's key. I mean, the lease states you have to have the insurance. And that's it's like car insurance,
Yeah. I have no problem with that.
Thank you, Mr. Harrison. All right, chapter 700 bill 7246. Any motion to get the first reading?
I moved first reading.
Second.
On favor, take a roll call, please.
Councilwoman Brown? Yes. Councilman Cordes? Councilman Twitchell?
Yes.
Councilman Sudar?
Yes.
Councilwoman Ranowski? Yes. Councilman Phillips?
Yes.
Councilman Gott?
Yes.
Councilman Turner,
Yes.
Bill number 7246, an ordinance of the city of Louisiana, Missouri, amending chapter 700 of the Code of Ordinances by adding Article 2, establishing the Enterprise Public Utilities Committee and defining its powers, duties, and administrative procedures. Entertain a motion to give Bill 7246 a second reading.
No discussion.
Well, it's just been moved once.
Okay, for the second reading, then we're gonna have to, because my understanding,
We can have discussion after the second.
okay, that's fine.
So there's a motion on the
I'll
floor to
second.
give it a second reading. Okay. All right, now discussion.
Yeah. I'm all in favor of doing this, except for one thing. And that is section 700.208 powers and duties of the enterprise director. Okay. In our ordinances, we devote 21 subsections outlining the duties and powers of the city administrator. I have it right here in front of me. Count them. In this ordinance, we devote one sentence. I think it's really important. I'm not saying we have to do 21 paragraphs, but I would like to see more detail in this in order to mirror, if we're saying that this is equal with the city administrator, I would like that section 700.208 to mirror the detail for the executive, for the enterprise director that we outline in detail for the city administrator. I think it's just really important that we codify that, you know, not just for this situation, but for situations in the future.
So Councilman Phillips, do you know why we dedicate 21 sections under chapter 115 for the city administrator?
Yeah, a lot of it's legal.
It's for, because that's what Missouri state statute
Right.
dictates.
Right.
That's required. There's no such RSMO section for that. With that being said, that's why you have those duties under city administrator. Now, with that being said, I'm not opposed to duties being drafted for the enterprise director. It does not have to be in section 700.208 per se, but that definitely can be outlined as any other employee's duties for the city of Louisiana.
Yeah,
Not all employees are codified as far as their duties and responsibilities.
yeah, but all of our appointed officers are.
And exactly, an appointed officer is treated like an elected official. You know, that's how they're treated in that code.
I respectfully disagree, but that's okay. We're allowed to disagree.
All right, any other discussion?
In that same paragraph. When we are changing rates, we require a public hearing. And final approval by the city council. Do not have to, run that in the newspaper as well.
Yeah,
Should that be?
so public hearing, whenever the public hearing, there's a notice, yeah. And that's also in another section of the chapter, chapter 700, to give notice.
So that does need to be added there, that there's
I
a
think,
public hearing, a newspaper notice and final approval by the city council or.
yeah, so any public hearings requires notice. So I believe we had that, and we can take the time to look at it right now and see where it's worded at. In there, unless Clinton knows off the top of his head, when we do give notice for public rate changes.
We also have to follow state statutes on that also. There's a, like wastewater has a specific time frame, and I can't remember exactly which water that has a time, wastewater has a time frame. Water, there is no stipulations, like you don't have to give a news, you don't have to put it in the newspaper for, you do have, we had a hearing, you know, we did have a hearing, but you don't have to put it in the newspaper for the hearing, the notice, on one of them. I mean, I can't remember which one it is, but we have to follow state statutes on that.
I would just wonder
Yeah.
if those words need to be included in that portion of the
I would say that it would follow under the having the public hearing portion of it, just in general, anything to have that public hearing would follow the state statutes of having. And notice.
Any other discussions?
Yeah, mine's in the same paragraph too. It's the committee shall consist of 4 council members appointed for 2 years by the mayor. Well, unless you're gonna get on the same schedule as take the people that are all gonna be up in 2 years, and all is gonna be up in 1 year, and you're gonna flip them in and out, that's really not gonna work. Because some people here you might pick, or well, some of them, let's say right like before April, some of you all are going out, you can't appoint that person for 2 years if they're not even the possibility they're gonna be here for 2 years. Or like me after April, I only have 1 year left, so how would you be able to appoint anybody that only has 1 year left? Which is the other 4 of us that are studying here. It kind of ties everything up in a knot. And then the word confirmation, the council is confirmation. Can you explain what that means to me?
So we're looking at which section again, 201?
201. That just us agreeing?
Confirmation, yes. So basically, that's the way all of our standing committees are. They may not use the word confirmation. They use the word
Approved?
no, not necessarily approved. It's consent. That's the legal term that they use.
Well, confirmation literally means the act of verifying or establishing something, so that's not really, that would just be as council sitting here verifying who you appointed, not really maybe agreeing with you. Should that not be subject to approval of council?
So as with any appointment, the council's authority, well, first of all, the mayor's authority is to appoint. The council's authority is to consent or not to consent.
Okay, well, what about what I said before about the 2, you're gonna appoint them for 2 years?
So I think the very last section of that with 1 year term requiring each. I think the practice has been if we get into a situation to where there's an appointment, someone filling someone's term. If someone quits with their first year term, whoever is appointed in that spot has historically always filled that committee. But that same question you have would be the same for all of our standing committees, how that works. So I would envision it not acting any different than any of our standing committees.
Standing committees actually are the place of the is for the council to appoint us to after every April. The 8 of us should get together every April and point out who's going to what committee and who's going to be the mayor pro tem. So that's why I was questioning why we're not the ones appointing
So
for
the
that
council,
particular member.
so now you are correct on the mayor pro tem. But as far as the standing committees, it's the mayor that makes the appointments.
That's not what I read
And that's exactly what it reads.
in the Robert's Rules of Order.
No, it's in our ordinance.
So, fine, that isn't, but appointed for 2 years by the mayor, so we're just gonna, it kind of contradicts each other, but okay. So- I'll go with it. 202, committee members shall meet the same qualification in council members and shall take official oath. Well, we all have took the official oath. So we don't have to redo it, so that one shouldn't even be in there. 202
So
qualifications.
the only difference would be if someone's coming in new as a person, they'd be taking this oath, but I don't necessarily disagree with you on that. But I don't know what the question is.
I think it should be removed because we all are qualified unless you say somebody has to be appointed on an off term. Members should be removed by impeachment. Like, okay, how are we gonna remove people when by his council of 5, See, it goes back to them 4 people on a lot of this stuff, says members may be removed by impeachment or resolution of 5 council members. Well, 4 of us members are going to be on that. So where are we gonna, we're gonna pull one from that group to impeach someone off that group? Because there has to be 5 of us in order to impeach.
It seemed to me to be the council as a whole.
Yeah.
Which would be 9 members. You had to get 5.
Right.
Well, there's 8 of us.
That's the way I hear
Yeah.
it. You know, that's why I made it in history. I didn't have the count. But yeah, it would be the council of the whole that would do. Committee doesn't have the power to impeach.
No, I know, but the numbers like that, we're gonna impeach somebody out of that group of 4, but there's only 4 of us left. That's what I was talking about.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. But it would be the council as a whole, not
Yeah.
the committee.
Yeah. So it's really not wrote correctly. And then subject to council confirmation.
Anything else, Council?
Yeah. What kind of minutes is Clinton or whoever gets the job with, what kind of, what are the minutes that they would have to take and present? Somewhere here it says they have to keep minutes and
210.
they shall keep minutes and records, prepare an annual budget, which we know he's doing that.
If any committee has to, even if economic development or whatever meets, we have to keep minutes.
Okay.
And we have to, any committee of the council has to appoint a chairperson. And
Yeah.
at least a chairperson and a secretary.
It just says,
Recording
it says the enterprise director is why I was questioning.
Yeah, well,
It should be a member of the group after they get their
no, it'd be
president.
a member of the committee that would
That's what it,
be
yeah.
keeping the minutes
what I meant.
of the committee meeting. That's what we're talking about here.
Well, should it say the enterprise director though? Or just the 4.
Well, I don't know about that, but my understanding of how this works is the secretary of the committee is the one that keeps the minutes for the committee. And the way I read this, it means the minutes for committee meetings and not meetings of the enterprise director or anything like that. He just reports.
Okay.
Okay,
One more thing, section 70.207. Don't forget to take the second out. In the last sentence.
Yeah.
gotcha. See ya. All right. All right, call the roll call, please.
Councilman Brown,
Yes.
Councilwoman Cordes,
Yes.
Councilman Mitchell,
Yes.
Councilman Sudar,
Yes.
Councilwoman Renowski. Yes. Councilman Phillips,
No.
Councilman Gott,
Yes.
Councilwoman Sherman,
No.
All right, bill number 7246, an ordinance of the city of Louisiana, Missouri, amending chapter 700 of the Code of Ordinances by adding article 2, establishing the Enterprise Public Utilities Committee, defining its powers, duties, and administrative procedures is hereby ordained and passed this day. Any miscellaneous business, council?
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry, let me, I'm backed up, I got out of line there. So insurance proceeds reimbursement. All right, council, on January 16th, 2019, the city of Louisiana received $42,848.44 in insurance proceeds from State Farm Fire and Casualty related to the damages sustained at 1710 Georgia Street pursuant to City Code Section 505.090 and applicable state law. The city was required to hold these funds in escrow until the insured property was either repaired, demolished, or otherwise brought into compliance with city codes. Following the review of the verified city expenditures and documentation provided by the treasurer, the city attorney and myself have determined that, or with the treasurer, has determined that the remaining balance of $27,475.34, including accrued interest, is due for reimbursement to the insured owner. This action finalizes the city custodial obligation of the insurance escrow and closes the account related to 1710 Georgia Street. So when you see that in next month's treasurer's report, you'll see that.
Where's this money been kept that we're supposed to be refunding?
But if you look at section 505.090, it's under insurance proceeds with the bank. All right. New business. Is there any new business?
The amount.
Which part? The original or what the reimbursement?
The reimbursement.
$27,475.34.
Could we get a copy of that?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll stop by sometime.
Yeah.
Or
Sure, that we.
just for my reference.
No problem. All right, any new business? No new business, any miscellaneous business? Comments from the public on any item discussed during the meeting?
I would like to thank Mike Sherman, Linda Sherman, Heather, and everybody else that worked on Color Fest. But I watched, he worked his butt off. They all worked really hard and they all did a really good job. And there's a big turnout. People were complaining about prices for the vendors, but you know, inflation. But all in all, everything went pretty good. And I'd like to thank everybody that worked hard and did. You all did a really good job.
Back up to the 1710 Georgia. What was the original amount?
$42,848.44.
22,400.
$42,848.44.
Okay. So we're returning less than what?
Yeah, the city spent the difference.
Okay. All right, I understand. I think we've. Okay.
Or any immediate clarification? All right, entertain a motion to go to closed session for RSMO 610.021. Section 1, 2, and 3. Okay, any discussion? Take roll call, please.
Councilwoman Brown?
Yes.
Councilwoman Cordes?
Yes.
Councilman Twitchell?
Yep.
Councilman Sutter?
Yes.
Councilwoman Renowski? Yes. Councilman Phillips?
Yes.
Councilman Gott?
Yes.
Councilman Sherman?
Yes.
If you fall. No, we are.
You didn't. I didn't get it. The administrator.
So it's identical to the city administrator except for the professional engineer.
Okay, we're back out of the session. Okay, bye.
That's all I got.
On with you.
Well, I'll go ahead. Entertain a motion of for resolution 05-2025, resolution authorizing the mayor to enter into a contract with Cameron Carlisle for the position of city administrator.
Second.
We have a first and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say yes.
Yes.
Opposed, like sign. Resolution authorizing the mayor to enter into a contract with Cameron Carlisle for the position of city administrator, whereas the city of Louisiana, Missouri is a third-class city organized and existing under the laws of the state of Missouri, and whereas the position of city administrator has been duly established by ordinance of the city of Louisiana, defining the powers, duties, and responsibilities of said office, and whereas following a formal recruitment and interview process, the city council of the city of Louisiana has determined that Mr. Cameron Carlisle is the most qualified candidate to serve as city administrator. And whereas the city council desires to employ Mr. Carlisle under the terms and conditions set forth in Exhibit A, the contract, and to authorize the mayor to execute the said agreement on behalf of the city. Now therefore be it resolved that city council of the city of Louisiana, Missouri as follows. Authorization in a contract, the mayor of the city of Louisiana, Missouri is hereby authorized and directed to enter into an employment agreement with Mr. Cameron Carlisle for the position of city administrator under the terms and conditions described in Exhibit A, the contract, which is attached here to and incorporated herein by reference. Execution of documents, the mayor is further authorized to execute on behalf of the city and any and all documents necessary to carry out the intent and purpose of this resolution and employment agreement. At the date, this resolution shall be in full force and effective immediately from passage and approval, passed and approved and adopted by the city council of the city of Louisiana this 27th day of October 2025. Entertain a motion to approve resolution 6-2025.
Second.
Motion, second. All those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Opposed, like sign. The resolution authorizing the mayor to enter into a contract with Clinton Keller for the position of enterprise director, whereas the city of Louisiana, Missouri is a third-class city organized and existing under the laws of the state of Missouri, and whereas the position of enterprise director has been duly established by ordinance of the city of Louisiana, defining powers, duties, and responsibilities of said office, and whereas following a formal recruitment and interview process, the city council of Louisiana has determined that Mr. Clinton Keller is the most qualified candidate to serve as enterprise director. Whereas the city council desire to employ Mr. Keller under the terms and conditions set forth in Exhibit A, the contract, and authorize the mayor to execute said agreement on behalf of the city. Now therefore be it resolved by the city council of the city of Louisiana, Missouri as follows. Authorization to enter contract, the mayor of the city of Louisiana, Missouri is hereby authorized and directed to enter into an employment agreement with Mr. Clinton Keller for the position of enterprise director under the terms and conditions described in Exhibit A, the contract, which is attached hereto and incorporated herein by reference. Execution of documents, the mayor is further authorized to execute on behalf of the city any and all documents necessary to carry out the intent and purpose of this resolution and the employment agreement. Effective date, this resolution shall be in full force and effective immediately upon its passage and approval, passed, approved, and adopted by the city council of the state of Louisiana this 27th day of October 2025. Entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in any discussion? All in favor, say yes.
Yeah.
Okay.